All right, it has finally happened. Officially, Saudi Arabia buys out EA. We've covered this before. It is for $55 billion. I kind of wanted to break it down into good and bad and get the viewership to see if they bring up good points, bad points, right? Like what's good, what's bad that I may have missed. Obviously, again, we've talked about it. The interesting thing that I didn't know was that one of the partners was Jared Kushner. So I take that as a bad thing. I don't want anybody politically involved in video games. I don't want political statements in video games. I don't want any kind of statement in the video game world. I want games to be video games and out of the, I guess, like this, you know, this timeline that we're on. There's supposed to be a fantasy. So I'm not happy about that. But now the thing about it is, here's the good in a way that I started when I started breaking this down. Well, the bad is Jared Kushner's involved, and I'm going to put Saudi Arabia on the bad side. I don't think they have the best reputation. So we're just going to lead off with that. Now, here's the good EA sucks. The good is that EA did suck. And this is not just my opinion. Obviously, EA, I remember I phrased it out, but yeah, EA was voted the worst company in America 2 times in a row. So, quite literally, they're an undisputed back to back champ of being just the worst of the worst. So, you actually cannot get much worse than that, right? So, that could actually be pretty good. I have that as a good. That EA sucks. The biggest thing for me is this is a private company. This became private. That's why they paid $55 billion. They had to buy all the stock. They had to buy the shareholders out to privatize this company. With that, shareholders, like any company, for me, the future of America is private. Any company that goes public, now you have vampires that require sacrifice every year. And that sacrifice is called exponential growth. So let's say EA has made EA makes $1 billion in 2026. When you have shareholders, there's this magical thing that people have made up, which is called exponential growth. And now the shareholders next year, if you only make the same amount of money, like let's just keep it $1 billion, you make $1 billion in 2026, and in 2027, you're on track to make $1 billion. That's a bad year, according to shareholders. So now being a private company, you don't have that. So if you make $1 billion, that's great. And for next year, you could make more. But if you make another $1 billion of profit for your private company, it's another great year. And that's why I think the future of America in general is staying private in business and just being happy with having a good consumer base and making a good profit. So that's a very good thing. Now, the other good thing is old titles might come back. Command and Conquer, right? I love that title. Here's some, uh, obviously, a list. I had to go find it because right now all the news about EA are for the buyout. But here's some of the famous franchises that were affected by EA buying them out and then shutting it down just so they can own the IP. Again, we start with my favorite Command and Conquer, real time strategy, very fun, Tiberium Wars, all that. You have currency, you have like, and with today's graphics, you can make the maps look beautiful. This would be a phenomenal game. You could play PvP, but you could just play against the computer and just have a good time. I don't remember Ultima. I do remember Wing Commander. I don't remember Dungeon Keeper too much. Theme Hospital, that sounds fun. Obviously, Star Wars has made a comeback, but they did Star Wars wrong. Once they bought it, they got so greedy in the early Star Wars. Mercenaries, I remember it. The Saboteur, I remember it. Didn't play it. Obviously, they brought back Need for Speed, but not with a big splash. I mean, not even though I've bought the brand new Need for Speeds, they're okay. Dead Space, a great game, obviously. And of course, let's not forget that EA owns Battlefield. They own Titanfall, which a lot of people might be excited about, Apex Legends, and Star Wars. So, Titanfall obviously is a precursor to Apex Legends. Apex Legends, the original dev team is gone. They had to beg EA to make this game. By the way, Apex Legends was like a complete um, kind of undertaking that the team wanted to do on their end. EA had nothing to do with the success of this game. All they've done is monetize it, made it worse, and got greedy. But Titanfall, a lot of people have been wanting Titanfall 3. So Let's go back here. All right. What else about the bad? I'm trying to think on the fly, obviously. As we're seeing, oh, The Sims, people love The Sims. I don't care about it. Now, it does make Saudi Arabia, like it says here, it does make Saudi Arabia the like one of the biggest game companies, right? Like Saudi Arabia is now one of the biggest players in the gaming market. EA had a huge reach. EA was global. I mean, the tournaments, all the sports games. EA did suck though, and you guys kept buying the same Madden. I would say rating is like, oh, 2 stars. We'll never buy this Madden again. I'm sure you all bought it next season. Little fun fact about how bad EA is at making basketball games. There was a basketball game called NBA Live, and that was EA. And it was so bad that basically 2K put it out of business. NFL 2K5 was also a much better game than Madden, and EA spent like a bunch of money securing some rights to football. So now 2K could not make an NFL game. So EA used all your money not to make a better game to compete with 2K. It was ahead of its time. Oh my god. 2K had like the crib. You could customize your crib. You could play paper football. They had the one-handed catches. They had the 100 ratings. They had the celebration in the end zone. Like if you were ahead by like 20 yards, you could let go of the controller, and your character will celebrate for you. 2K was they had Chris Berman doing your highlights. They had CPU versus CPU highlights, especially if you're pushing the. You could just watch a Sports Center show. It was mind blowing. And then NBA 2K5 was very much the same, ahead of its time. Amazing soundtrack, amazing feel. But now 2K has lived long enough to become the villain because they have shareholders, so they need you to spend more money. Really, shareholders are vampires, and they demand sacrifices, and that's your pocket, that's your money. They require more money. So I think if Saudi leverages the pressure other companies have that they don't have now, they don't answer to anybody. Obviously, rules and regulations, but they don't answer to any shareholders aside from just the group that owns that's in there. They can make whatever they want. That opens up a whole different door. Now, I also don't like a monopoly. I'll be very worried if, let's say, Saudi buys 2K games or something like that. I'm going to be worried to see if I see more acquisitions by the same group of people. Because again, part of it is political, and I don't want any of that at all in video games. So maybe the bad, let me put political just in case. Would like to avoid that, you know? Now, I don't know if other companies can go private. You have to buy out your investors, so that might not be the move. The move is new companies, just like we saw with obscure Clear 33 or whatever. With the help of AI, and I know people are very anti AI right now, and I think some AI is good in moderation, of course, and it's not. Um, you should not just trust AI. The data it gathers is human input, like so. It's not. You know, what I mean, people trust it like it's a gospel. No, it just pulls data from the internet. Could be good or bad. You have to double check it. It's not. It's not like a god tier thing. But if you use it for creative reasons, then there's no right or wrong, and it makes your life easier. So, and private and new gaming companies are gonna be. It's gonna be easier for them to make good games. So, I think it's time for the old guard to go, and a new fresh team to come in. But again, don't live long enough to become the villain. Like, stay private. Stay private. Going public with your company is a death sentence because you just sold your baby to vampires. You know. I don't want to go too much farther. Like, this was a long spiel already, I believe. I don't want to bore you guys. I'm trying to think of more bad, but like maybe political messaging, right? That's bad. So that goes under there. I don't want, like I said, one side or the other. I don't want any of it. Video games are a fantasy land. It's a magical world. Don't ruin my magical world by bringing it back to reality. So, with that being said, uh, I do want to wrap it up. It's official. It happened. What can I add to the good or the bad? What do you guys think? And are you more optimistic or pessimistic, or are you like, let's wait and see? or did I sell you with Titanfall 3? Like, if Titanfall 3 comes out, are you guys like, hell yeah, you know what, worth it? Because again, no one has remorse because EA has been so garbage for so long. So other companies you might feel bad for. EA, nobody cared from what I saw from in terms of the feedback. They're like, yeah, EA blows. So thank God. I mean, yeah, quite literally cannot get much worse than the worst company in America. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'll be interested to see your opinions and your thoughts and what points you guys make. Something I always like to see a different perspective and something I may have missed. So hope you enjoyed the video and I look forward to seeing your comments and I'll see you all in the next one.